Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I know it has been like a million years literally since I've recorded anything, but I am proud to say I am back to my YouTube channel and hopefully going to continue to be consistent. Let's like cross our fingers that like I can motivate myself to like actually make videos and actually stream and so on and so forth. But anyways, I kind of wanted to just like make a quick little like sit down and talk with you guys video, give you guys a little bit of Mercy gameplay to watch while I sit here and talk to you guys about everything that's kind of been going on and like where I've been, because honestly I feel like I just disappear sometimes and then literally like nothing. There's no updates, there's no content from you, there's nothing, and then you guys are like, oh, what happened to Divinity, like where'd she go, you know? And I feel so bad about doing this type of stuff, so I really just wanted to make a video and talk about everything because honestly, like, so much has happened over like the past year. I think you guys knew, but like a lot was going on in my life, and I feel like ever since then I've been so inconsistent and have not been able to get back to being consistent when it comes to creating content or streaming to my Twitch channel. I've just been so all over the place, such a mess, and just so unmotivated. Best way to describe like everything happening. You guys know it's the whole COVID thing and the whole like coronavirus and the whole pandemic, just everything like all in a nutshell. I know it's like that's all the same three things that I just named, but you get what I'm saying. 2020 has been a stressful year for us all, and I feel like more than ever my mental health has been struggling this year. It's just been, like I said, it's been a mess. I have such a hard time trying to keep myself together sometimes, you know, dealing with what I deal with on a daily. My mental health just struggles a lot, but I feel like, you know, in there, even though I am dealing with what I'm dealing with, the whole depression and, you know, anxiety. Now, I've had anxiety for years and years and years on end. Anxiety is definitely not something new to me, not a foreign concept. I know pretty much how to somewhat deal with it, but depression had happened to me the past couple years, and it's been a bit of a challenge for me because I feel like everyone around me had noticed the change in my personality. I went from being this like quiet girl who just, you know, literally like the sweetest person ever, best way to describe, like I would do anything, I would break my back for somebody else type thing. Like that was my personality. I always preach like positivity and, you know, being nice to others, being kind to others, and just spreading goodness, right? And that was always like my motivation, like just to be the good that I never really experienced in life. Now, when I say it like that, it does sound kind of sad, but like what I mean is like I just wanted to be a motivation to other people to hopefully like spread more kindness and positivity and just treat others like how we want to be treated, right? And I had preached that for so long. I literally would always spend time like meditating and doing things that would help my mental health and help me stay in a good mind state. Now, I eventually stopped doing these things. I no longer do yoga. I no longer really meditate. I no longer do things that probably kept me in that good place in my life. And now, in a way, I feel like I've shut out a lot of people. I'm not very social. My anxiety has gotten worse. My social anxiety has gotten a million times worse. I have essentially turned into this person just locked away from the world, and it's just kind of sad when you think about it, because like that just goes to show like what depression and anxiety can do to you if you allow it to. And that's really like what's been happening for me. Now, like I was saying before, everyone around me had noticed the change in my personality, and it had just essentially taken over me. I was no longer, honestly, I feel like from my perspective, I think I got tired of being so nice to people when I was kind of not being treated so well, you know? And I think that a lot of things within my family, friendships, relationships, all had gone very sour for me at a period in my life. And I started to question, like, being so nice to everyone, you know? And it sounds weird to phrase it like that, but like for real, like I was like, why am I being so nice and breaking my back for other people, but nobody else is doing it for me? Everyone else doesn't care about hurting me. Everyone else doesn't care about, breaking my trust and things that I feel like matter. So then I started to question, why am I doing that for other people? And it just, things changed. All of a sudden, I wasn't going to just, of course I'm quiet in a sense, like socially awkward quiet, but all of a sudden I started standing up for myself. And if somebody else wronged me, then I wasn't going to take it, because I found that when I was so nice to people that I wouldn't speak my mind and I wouldn't say when something bothered me just because I didn't want confrontation, I found that like they would take advantage of that in a way, and they would just, they would be so mean and so rude to me and not care about what they're saying to me or how they're making me feel. And I would just take it. Like, I would just not say anything. And I think really that's where I started to change. I think that I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to take people's crap anymore. I'm not going to just sit here and not say anything. If somebody feels the need to be negative towards me or say something mean towards me or wrong or just essentially not care about my feelings, then I'm going to stand up for myself. And honestly, that literally changed my personality so much. And some good came from it, but I feel like a lot of bad has come from me changing certain aspects of myself, mainly because of how I was treated by other people. Again, it was family members, friendships, relationships. It was all different forms of relationships that were toxic, that really hammered down on my mental health and had a dramatic effect on me, to the point where it was literally changing who I was. It was questioning who I was as a person. And even to this day, I think back to those times and I think like, dang, that's, I miss being that person. I miss being the original me who was so kind to other people and just always was motivated to spread positivity and kindness to others and just make other people happy. Like, I remember that literally being one of my main motivators in life, was to make others happy, make others smile, make others laugh. Like, I felt so good when I could make other people feel good. Like, that's literally all I needed to feel good. And it's crazy to think that like now I could get to this period in my life where I just feel bad, and it's in a way all because I wanted to make other people feel good, but I wasn't making myself feel good, if that makes sense. Like, I thought I was making myself feel good by making others feel good, and then I found that others were just taking advantage of that and taking advantage of me, and they were getting their nice little high, and I wasn't. I was collecting all of that damage from other people, and then I was becoming hurt. And I, even so many different moments, I felt like, or I was made to feel like by these other parties, that I was a bad person, that I was just terrible, that I was just so wrong for doing certain things, so wrong for saying certain things. I am only human, and that's all I can ever say. I'm not perfect, and I know that I've made mistakes in different friendships, relationships, and relationships probably even with different family members. I know I have made mistakes. I never try to act like I'm perfect. And that's one thing I always, still to this day, will say, okay, I know I can always own up to what I've done wrong. You get what I'm saying? But there are certain moments where it's like, even if I played a small part in something, then I shouldn't be made to feel like I am just this bad villain or something, like I'm just the worst human being alive, because people have made me feel that. They've literally made me feel like I was a terrible human being for sometimes maybe just speaking my opinion, or maybe just slightly standing up for myself, even though I had a very hard time doing so. And in these moments, all of a sudden I was just this terrible person to them. I was the bad one. And that's what I really hated. It's like these people almost seemed like they thought they were perfect. They couldn't own up to when they did something wrong. And I noticed that 9 times out of 10, even when people would apologize or would own up to something they did wrong, they would retract it. They would take it back. And it's like, it would be essentially a fake apology, right? It wouldn't be genuine. They wouldn't actually mean it. Nothing. Maybe they just didn't want to seem like a bad person, so they said this. And I'm not faulting people. Again, we all make mistakes. I'm just saying that a lot of the stuff that had happened to me over the course of like 3 years has had a dramatic effect on who I am today. And I get that that's how life works. I know that people change over the years and different things happen to them, different experiences affect them in different ways. But I just want to say that I had a lot of negative experience, and I feel saddened by a lot of it because I genuinely cared for a lot of these people. I mean, the friends that I lost, I used to have so much fun staying up all night playing Overwatch with friends. I used to have so much good times with friends, and honestly, I just wish that things like certain things didn't have to play out the way that it did. Same thing with family members. A lot of relationships were kind of severed with some of my family members, and actual romantic relationships were also ruined by toxic things, you know? And it's so sad to me because a lot of these people gave me so much joy in my life. They made me so happy at different points in my life, and it's just crazy to think that it had to be such a toxic thing, that it had to end the way that it ended. And honestly, really what I'm saying in this video is with everything that's happened to me and how things have changed me, I feel like a lot of it was negative. I feel like one of the main reasons I deal with my depression now is because of a lot of stuff that has happened to me, and probably a lack on my part of taking care of my mental health. Just a lot of things have factored into it, but these things definitely have had a big effect on me. Anytime you ever lose people in your life that you genuinely care about, people that you've made great memories with, people that mattered a lot to you, even people that you've loved, it hurts, and it does have an effect on you. And no matter if you learn to move on from it or you don't, I mean, I would hope that you always learn to move on from it, but in any case, it's just gonna be hard. You're still gonna think about it from time to time. It's still gonna have effect over you, and there's still gonna be moments where you're gonna just think, dang, I wish things didn't have to be the way that they are. But one thing I can say is that everything essentially happens for a reason. But yeah, guys, I just want to remind you all, and I hope that if you take anything from this video, it's just to make sure you're taking care of your mental health. Make sure you're hanging around people that have your best interests and genuinely care about you and only have good intentions. Because like I said, it's a lasting effect sometimes. Depending on how close you are with certain people, it can definitely have a grip on you. And whether it's romantic relationships, friendships, family members, it all kind of ties into the same thing. If you care about somebody, if your heart is attached to somebody, then it's just hard to sometimes understand certain things, and especially if somebody's hurt you, then all the while, it's gonna make it so much more harder if you care about somebody and they do something that does hurt you. But yeah, I mean, all I can say is that I hope, with this next coming year popping up very soon, I'm really hoping that I can get back to a good place mentally. Now, it's not to say that I'm just going to go back to being that super, super nice girl that just, never says anything because she doesn't want confrontation. That's not to say that that's going to happen, but I definitely would love to be back in a better mental state for sure, and hopefully learn to open up to people again. And make some friends, because honestly, I don't know about you guys, but freaking quarantine has been lonely as heck. Literally just hanging out with yourself, not really leaving the house too much, not really doing a whole lot. It gets pretty boring, and I feel like even when people have presented to me in different opportunities that they would like to be friends with me, I always in a way shut them out, just because I'm just so socially awkward right now, guys. Like, I can't even explain how socially awkward I am right now. But yeah. Let me stop rambling though. With everything being said though, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that kind of explains everything and what I've been dealing with. I know it's a lot of mental health talk, and I'm sorry if you guys don't really want to hear about that sort of thing, but I kind of just wanted to make a little video to let you guys know what's been happening, where I've been, and why there's been a lack of content, and if I was even going to continue creating content. So just know that, guys, I will be around. With that being said though, guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.